reaction, man, when that happened?
Boy, I was surprised. I knew it was going to be a tough fight for both guys. I knew Chocolatito wanted to get his title back. I knew Rungvisai wanted to prove that it wasn't a fluke the first time, that he's a true champion. Both guys came in with tremendous hearts. You saw really Chocolatito is almost like the hometown favorite here in LA. He had a tremendous turnout, completely sold out the StubHub Center. But you can't take anything away from Rungvisai. I think Chocolatito maybe started trading with him a little bit too early. His game plan probably should have been to go a little bit more in the later rounds like he did in New York in Madison Square Garden when he was dominating the second half of the fight. But when he had the first knockdown, instead of, there was still a lot of time in the ring, and instead of, you know, moving and clinching, he kept fighting, and he just got caught a second time, and the second time just boy, that was a scary moment for a guy like Chocolatito. You don't see him on the canvas very often, and you got to give Rungvisai a lot of credit. You got to give Inoue a lot of credit. I mean, Inoue, the monster, lived up to his nickname. I mean, that was the co-feature, and boy, you got to put Inoue the way he took apart a guy like Antonio Nieves. My ribs started hurting with those body shots. I was wincing, and boy, Inoue's got to be in the top 10 pound for pound. And then Estrada, the way he fought against Cuadras, you got to give those guys credit. It was a very close fight, a true Mexican style fight. I mean, there was non-stop action. You know, the small guys always put on the biggest show, and Estrada has a big future in front of him at 115 pounds.
Do you see Chocolatito moving back down? Maybe these guys are a little too big for him?
You know, that's really up to Mr. Honda and GGG Promotions and his manager, Carlos Blandon. He was dominating 112 pounds. It's, you know, when you move up 3 pounds, it doesn't seem like a lot, but, you know, he had a very tough fight against Cuadras at 115, and then, you know, he had the 2 tough fights against Rungvisai. It might be one of those things that just Rungvisai has a bad style from. He's a southpaw, he's a big puncher. Physically, I mean, he's a big guy for 115 pounds. So at the weigh-in yesterday, I thought Roman was about the same size, but in the ring today, you could see Rungvisai was much bigger. So it was a great fight, great main event.
About Super Fight, Tom, you think is one of the most very important event in your
I think it's one of the best fights, best events we've ever been involved with. It's completely sold out, StubHub Center. This had so much world-class talent on it. I think we can do a Superfly and a Superfly 3. I mean, the great thing about the guys and the promoters is that they'll fight each other. Who's the best, and you know, when you had Inoue in a dominant performance, you had Rungvisai dominant performance, and Estrada, the way he boxed, what can you say? I mean, there's so much talent, and it's such a deep division that we can put on some great matchups.
As a promoter, how do you leave the moment when Chocolatito fell down?
It was tough. It was really hard to see the best pound-for-pound fighter only 2 fights ago, you know, laying on the canvas like that, and not just being a flash knockdown like in New York. Not just for Chocolatito, but you know, anyone that goes down like that as a promoter, it always definitely, I think that took a toll in the first fight, especially with the blood coming down. I think this time around there were a couple of clashes ahead, but it wasn't anything as serious as it was the first time. So I just think Chocolatito, he kind of got out of his game plan, where he started trading with Rungvisai a little bit too early, and you can't stand in the pocket with a guy like Rungvisai, a southpaw that can really punch.
Tom, quickly, just looking ahead to next weekend, Canelo's been posting a lot of pictures. Looks very big, bigger than he's ever looked.
Looks very big, looks very strong, looks very fast. It's going to be a tremendous matchup. Gennady posted a picture that Abel took on Friday, and I think that put to bed any rumors about him coming into camp not in shape or being the heaviest he's ever been in a training camp. Gennady is the hardest working guy that I know, and I was up in camp 4 times this time. They did a lot of publicity up there, but he's ready for this fight. You can see like every part of his body had definition on it. Even his own forearms were striated. I mean, he works every part so hard that this is the type of fight he realizes with the foundation that he has, or the platform that he has on this show. from T-Mobile next week on the HBO pay-per-view platform. He's going to put on the best performance of his career. Abel said he's never seen the sparring that he's had this time around. Five tremendous sparring partners, and the way Gennady has really excelled in the sparring, he's ready to go. And I really feel confident he's going to put on a great show for the fans. Both guys are going to put on a show for the fans, but I'm convinced that Triple G is going to drop his voice.
Canelo started posting workout video like, I want to say a week after the Chavez fight or something like that. I mean, that was 5 months ago. Do you feel like there could be he might have overtrained maybe the way his physique looks? And
that's hard to say. I don't know really the ins and outs or the inner workings of his the training camp. But I mean, look, Canelo is a consummate professional. He's got one loss to Floyd, and that was early. That was like 3 years ago. And now he's a completely different fighter. The way he dominated Chavez for 12 rounds, the way he has knockouts over Khan and Kirkland. Canelo's at a completely different level than he was against Floyd. And Gennady's wanted this type of a challenge where the fans and the media will recognize, okay, here's a pound-for-pound fighter that you've beaten, and you'll get the accolades for it.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you for your time.